Surfing session 163, 22 months into my surfing progression. In this video, I'm working on improving my top turns and my cutbacks on my surfboard. In addition to leaning on the toes or on the heels, I'm trying to move more on my board by adding compression or extension and some twisting moments at the right times. When I begin my bottom turn, I compress my body low to accelerate the board down the wave. I also lean and twist to look back at the top of the wave. This has accelerated the speed at which my rail gets into trim and I start surfing down the line. It also allows me to surf to the bottom of the wave and generate as much speed with my surfboard. Then, as I start to rise up the wave and transition into a top turn, I release my energy and extend my body upwards and project my surfboard forward to the top of the wave. At the top of the wave, I lean and twist in the other direction. I look down the beach to try to go down the wave if I'm pumping or generating speed on my surfboard. As my board flows down the wave, I compress again as I start the next bottom turn. On the top turns for cutbacks, I make sure that I lean and twist 180 degrees so that I'm looking back at the top of the white water behind me. I compress as my board rides down the wave again, and then as my surfboard approaches the white water, I release all my energy again with a huge extension as I project my board to the top of the white water and do a re-entry, trying to absorb the white water. I've been practicing my top turns at the skate park, both at the quarter pipe and in the bowl. Practicing in the skate park helps a lot because you can repeatedly practice turns over and over again at a much higher rate than you can practice in the water. It just hurts when you fall, so I make sure to wear the proper protection. Wrist guards, knee pads, elbow pads, and a helmet. In these videos, I can see that I'm starting to add more flow to my surfing by riding up and down the wave rather than just riding in the bottom or in the middle section of a wave. It adds more flow to my surfing and allows me to connect a figure eight on the wave. I find that I have to execute the top turn on the cutback quickly while the wave is still unbroken in front of me. Or if the white water is closing out, I try to do one more top turn and ride the white water down. I'm also working on a few other things. For instance, I'm working on positioning myself well to catch a wave so that the wave is steepest and just about to break when it hits me. There's a lot of work paddling around to position myself. However, if I'm in the right position, it's actually easier to paddle into a wave. The wave is steep and my surfboard just slides down the face of the waves, and I only need to do a few paddles to catch it. I'm also showing better paddling form with my back arched and using my back muscles to paddle. It's also more relaxing, and I try to raise my elbows as I dip my arm into the water. I'm also starting to experiment with cross-stepping, trying to catch waves on both my toe side and my heel side rails. I do a bottom turn once I pop up and get the board in trim quickly. Then as the surfboard gets on rail, instead of doing a top turn, I try to cross-step forward instead. There's a brief sense of acceleration when I cross-step forwards. I'm still falling, but it's an improvement for me since I have a habit of shuffling back and forth on the board. One key thing is that I have to try to do the cross-stepping while looking down the line or looking at the wave rather than looking at the nose of my surfboard. Do you have any friendly tips on top turns, cutbacks, or cross-stepping? If you do, please share any friendly tips in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please click like, comment, or subscribe. This is part of my surfing progression series on YouTube.